What is up, beautiful people? Mr. P bring you another video. Today, I'm actually not in my NIO. I'm at the biggest NIO house in Beijing, at the center of Beijing. And check it out, there's an ET9 over there. Customers checking out the ES8. And I have a separate video about the ET9 and my first overall impressions of that car. If you want to check it out, you can click on this link and watch that video. But in this video, I got some breaking news. I got some good news, global news concerning NIO, of course, outside of China. Great news as well. And if you guys didn't know, my son is upstairs. He's playing at the Joy Camp. He just absolutely loves this place. He's always begging me every day, can we go to a NIO house? Can we go to a NIO house? Can we go to a NIO house? And of course, finally, I promised him. I said yes. And then we came to a NIO house today. So we got two big news to cover. One is in Germany and one is about global. So let's talk about the global thing first, okay? So recently during a interview with the Firefly president, the Firefly CEO has confirmed on the interview that the Firefly car actually has a right-hand drive variant. And then that car will be going global in right-hand drive markets such as Germany, Japan, Thailand, England, all these markets. And for them, this car is their sort of ticket to global domination, so to speak. For most of Europe, the countries where NIO has already a presence in, they will be just selling the Firefly cars in the NIO houses. But for other countries where NIO isn't there, they'll probably be looking at a dealership model and just sell the cars globally. And with a Firefly, the expansion cost isn't as high as NIO. Like with NIO, you have to build new houses, swap stations, service centers, all that kind of stuff. Whereas with Firefly, the strategy has been to first sell the cars, and if there's a lot of owners of the Firefly car, then they build swap stations where they need to build swap stations. So with that, it's very much less cash intensive compared to expanding with NIO. And of course, with the Firefly car, it's much cheaper, much more affordable, and much more suitable for all sorts of different markets around the world. So this is very, very nice. And I'm really looking forward to that car selling globally. That's the whole plan of this. They're going to sell Firefly and Envo globally, and then as things progress, they're going to build swap stations there, and then if there's enough customer base, then they might move NIO into those different countries, which is very, very nice. That's a good strategy. I think it's a very safe strategy for them to play. Now, what is the other great news? The other great news is, of course, Germany. This was on the NIO app in German, and if you translate it, it says NIO is working with the German government to standardize battery swap. This is, of course, massive, massive news. This is huge news. This is such good bullish news. Why? Well, if NIO becomes the de facto standard, then it's sort of like in the future, everybody else that wants to do a car that can do battery swap, then they will probably have to go with NIO's platform, which is just absolutely fantastic. And of course, here in China, battery swap hasn't really been standardized yet. Okay, there's sort of like competing parties for that. Obviously, NIO has the first movers advantage in terms of battery swap. They have the most number of swap stations, already over 3,000 swap stations, which is fantastic. But then you also have other players like CATL, and they have their partner cars. Of course, NIO has their own partner cars, but it's kind of a sort of like a different, also the battery swap stations going on. And of course, you also have Alton, AULTON, with their taxi battery swaps, which those are kind of, I would say, very rudimentary, very old. So in China, they haven't really standardized it yet, but very soon you could see it standardized where you have like one swap station that fits all. And that would be fantastic. But Germany is taking the initiative and working with NIO, which is very, very good to standardize battery swap. Of course, they're realizing the full benefits of battery swap, the convenience of battery swap. And of course, in Germany, you actually have a lot of taxis that are NIO, and of course, they can do battery swap as well. So going forward, if they make it mandatory, then that would be absolutely fantastic. So I really want to show you guys this. This is quite interesting. Of course, the little poster cards introducing the car. And then here you have Nomi wishing you happy Chinese New Year. ES6, but the Bion 3, Snapdragon processor. But here, battery swap, and then the 4D suspension, very cool. Nomi, yes, interior. This is very cool. The AES, and then they have a video showcasing the sort of automatic emergency steering. So this is very interesting. This is NIO's intelligent driving system has reduced damages by 25.2%. And this is the first, NIO's cars are the first in the industry to be certified by the insurance companies to be very, very safe. All right. So this is pretty interesting. Of course, highlighting safety once again. Now, another very interesting news is the fact that with Onvo's promotional ads, before people have no idea what Onvo was, but one of the NIO content creators here in China suggested to NIO that when you have Onvo ads, you should at the bottom say a sub-brand of NIO, which they didn't really have before, but then they added that in. And this, of course, is kind of like two birds with one stone. You're advertising for Onvo, but then you also give some recognition to NIO as well. Some people might know NIO but not know Onvo. Then hey, there you go. This is a NIO sub-brand. Or other people might be more interested in a NIO when they look at the Onvo ad. So this is also very, very nice. But going forward, I do really expect Firefly to sell globally. Of course, we're going to have to wait until they start deliveries here in China very soon, and then let's see how it sells here in China and then which countries they decide to move into first. But both left-hand drive and right-hand drive variants, they have those already. And there's reports that the Firefly car is already in Europe, and then it's camouflaged, and very soon they could be selling that car in the countries which NIO already has a presence in Europe, like Germany, Netherlands, Norway, all those kind of great places. And very soon we could also see NIO in England, Japan, Germany, Thailand, all those great places where there's a very big market for small cars, cheap cars. And gradually, as they sell and they sell more and more, they can introduce battery swap stations over there and potentially move the NIO brand over. But for now, we're not going to see NIO brand in Australia, in Japan, and Thailand. You're going to see Firefly or Onvo first, and then if things go well, then perhaps they will have NIO go over there. So keep your expectations in check, but just know that Firefly is positioned for global domination. And also, of course, battery swap potentially getting standardized in Germany. Very, very good. And if it gets standardized in Germany and the other European countries follow suit, standardize it in France and in Switzerland, all those places, then you will see great success for battery swap over there. Of course, right now, NIO's not selling a whole lot of cars in Europe. NIO CEO has said before that the battery swap stations actually earn a lot of money from grid stabilization. So that's very, very nice. And if they could standardize it, not only for cars, but also for the benefit to the grid, I'm sure the government in Germany sees the benefits to the grid as well for energy stabilization. So that could also be a huge business opportunity for NIO going forward. So definitely they're taking the right steps for global domination, okay? But of course, here in China, this is where they sell the majority of the cars. They get the ball rolling, sell more cars here, and then slowly but surely all those other countries, even South American, okay? Brazil, NIO CEO met up with Brazil's president before, said they're going to potentially sell the cars there. BYD is already selling cars there. So yeah, looking very good for global domination. Of course, the USA, probably not going to enter the USA soon unless the tariffs get reduced or something like that. But yeah, this is very good news. Very happy about this. Definitely go check out my ET9 first impression video if you haven't already done so. Click that video. It's right over here. Wish you guys happy Chinese New Year once again. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.